I stood there staring at my cereal bowl, the memory hitting me harder than I expected. Every Saturday morning, my mom would leave a crumpled $5 bill tucked under the edge of my bowl. It started when I was 7, right after my father walked out on us without a word. He didn't just leave. He cleaned out the checking account and disappeared, leaving behind a mountain of debt we didn't know existed. Everything changed overnight. The electricity got cut off that first winter, and we survived on instant noodles and whatever was on clearance at the grocery store. But Mom refused to let everything fall apart. "This is yours," she'd say every Saturday morning, pressing that worn bill into my bowl, "for being exactly who you are." The first time it happened, I asked if we could really spare it. She just touched my cheek and said, "Some things matter more than being practical." I'd spend those $5 on candy at the gas station or save up for a month to buy a used video game. My friends had to mow lawns or wash dishes to earn their allowance. Mine just appeared like magic every single Saturday. Mom would stand by the counter, sipping her coffee, watching me discover that money with quiet satisfaction on her face, like she'd accomplished something important that nobody else could see. It never stopped. Not the morning after I heard her sobbing in the bathroom about the phone bill. Not the weekend our landlord posted an eviction notice on our door. That $5 was always there, waiting for me like clockwork, until I turned 14. I came downstairs one Saturday morning and poured myself a bowl of cereal. Mom was already dressed in her waitress uniform, frantically searching for her car keys. "I'm late for my shift, sweetheart. There's leftover pizza in the fridge," she said, rushing past me. I lifted my bowl, nothing underneath. I told myself she just forgot. She was exhausted, working double shifts at the restaurant during the day and cleaning medical offices at night. Sometimes she'd stumble through the door at 2 in the morning, still wearing that stained uniform, and collapse on the couch without even taking off her shoes. The next Saturday came and went. No $5. Then another Saturday, and another. I never said a word about it. Never asked why it stopped. Deep down, I knew we probably couldn't afford it anymore, and I didn't want to make her feel worse. So I got a job stocking shelves at the corner store. The owner didn't ask too many questions about my age. I started earning my own money every Saturday, buying my own things, telling myself I was too mature for allowances anyway. But I noticed the way Mom would look at me sometimes when I came home with my paycheck. This sad, searching look like she wanted to explain something but didn't know how to start the conversation. On my 16th birthday, she finally asked if I missed our Saturday ritual. I just shrugged and said, "Not really. I'm Fina." The hurt that crossed her face made me feel sick, but I acted like I didn't see it. For years after that, I pretended those Saturday mornings had never meant anything to me. Pretended I'd completely forgotten about them. After I graduated from college, I had to move back home for a few months while I looked for work. That first Saturday morning, I dragged myself to the kitchen, barely awake. Mom was there, looking so much older than I remembered. Her hair had gone silver, and her hands looked worn and tired. She smiled when she saw me. "Want some breakfast?" I nodded, watching her pour cereal into a bowl. Then she paused, reaching in her apron pocket. "Almost forgot something," she whispered, sliding a $5 bill into my bowl. Her fingers were rough and scarred from decades of scrubbing floors and washing dishes. "Mom, you really don't need to do this anymore. I'm an adult now." "I know," she interrupted me, "but I owe you something." She walked over to the kitchen drawer and pulled out a small spiral notebook. Inside were dates written in her careful handwriting, going back almost a decade. "Every Saturday I missed," she explained quietly. "When things got really bad, I couldn't keep our tradition going, but I wrote down every single one. I've been saving whatever I could, whenever I could." She pulled out a worn envelope from the drawer, stuffed thick with bills. $220, she said. "Every Saturday, I couldn't give you your $5. I realized she'd been setting aside spare change from her tips for years, keeping track of a promise I'd pretended to forget. A promise she'd never stopped thinking about. "I'm sorry it took me this long," she whispered, pressing the envelope into my hands. I couldn't speak.